Guys, we have a
Ravi,
two.
sorry to disturb.
Guys,
Ravi,
we have a sorry, someone is asking me something. Go ahead. Kumar or someone.
NameNode services, job services.
Mm-hmm.
Storage plus processing.
Okay. Yeah. Someone else was
Yes.
asking me to some other question. Yeah. Kumar or someone. So go ahead. Okay. So we have two set of services. One is for the storing the data, and other services are for processing the data. Okay. The first storing services like your Hdfs services, and processing services are like MapReduce services. One is storing services, other one is a mapping service, MapReduce services, processing services. So the storing services we'll call as a DFS services. We'll call it as a DFS services. And this is yarn services. Okay. Under the DFS services, as soon as you start the DFS services, your name node will start, your data node will start, data node service. I'm not talking about the physical machines, I'm talking about the services here. And there is something called secondary node service. Secondary node service. So to start these three services, we'll talk about these three services. To start these three services, we have separate shell script file. We have a separate shell script file. That file is start-dfs.sh. dfs.sh. As soon as you execute this start-dfs.sh, all these three services will up. All these three services will up. Okay, and there are, when it comes to the yarn services, we'll call it as a MapReduce services. The services are like resource manager.
Ravi. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Sanjay.
This start.dfs service, is it default or we have to create?
No, we don't need to create anything. This shell file will be already available. We need to just execute it. I'll show you that how to execute. And there is another, in the AND services, there is another service is called node manager service. And guys, in this, your resource manager is another two parts. One is the scheduler and application master. And you will be having some node manager, something called your node manager service, and it will be having a application manager. So we will be talking about that later, or we'll be talking detail about that later. First, to start these two services, we have something called start-yarn.sh, where these sh files will be there. These sh files will be there, the shell script files will be there in your binary sbin directory. As soon as you extract your Hadoop software, so the folder will be get created. Under the folder will be having subfolders. In the subfolder, one of the folder is sbin directory. In this sbin directory, you have there is so many shell files, and as well as cmd files. Cmd files are your command line files for Windows, and sh files are for Linux platform, a Linux flavored platform, right? So here, suppose if you are running your Hadoop in Windows, so you have to go ahead and start stop this, and where is the start all start. There will be one more here, start all command. If you are running in Windows, if you are running in Linux environment, we have something called start-all.sh or start-dfs.sh. This is what I have shown you just now, and there is something called start-yarn.sh, right? Suppose,
Ravi, this path is universal. I mean, for Cloudera, Hortonworks, for every vendor, this
yes,
is same path.
yes, it will be
Or
there.
and is this configurable also?
No, it is not configurable. It is your binary files where it located. It will be there in always in SBN only.
Okay.
Yep. So whenever you want to start only DFS services, you don't want the AND services, you will just go to, when you don't want other services, you want only YARN services, you will go to your terminal, you'll just say start hyphen dfs dot sh. So you have to start these services. As soon as you execute this, command, what it will do, it will go ahead and start the name node and data node services. Name node and data node services. So, and if you want to start only yarn services, and one more thing I would like to tell you here, without having a DFS services, there is no use of the yarn services. So without having yarn services, you can start the DFS services. Without having a yarn services, you can start the DFS services. But without having a DFS services, if you start the yarn services, there is no use of it. You cannot do any operation. There is no use of it because the data will be loaded into this. If you don't have a data, your process will not execute. If you don't have a path, it will say that I'm not able to find the path, right? Your DFS services can run without having your yarn services, but your yarn cannot run without having DFS services. Cannot run in the sense it will run, and there won't be there is no point to have only yarn services without having a DFS services. Let's look at guys here. So I'm going to start that, and I'll be executing, and I'll be showing you how it will be working. Okay, let's look at here. In the bin directory, you'll be having so many configuration files. Let's talk about the few important no files, then I'll talk about other thing. Start-sh file. Let's look at what it is doing. Start yarn.sh file. So when you look at the start-dfs.sh file, it is, look at guys here, it is a shell script file where it is starting the services. In this, if you try to understand this, it will understand, I mean, you can know you can have you can understand, I can say, if you try to understand, whether if you know the shell script, you can easily understand this. So here it is able to find the Hdfs services. In that, it is getting the configuration of your name node, and it is starting the name node. After starting the name node, look at guys here, Hadoop-daemon.sh. This is another to start a specific daemon service. This is a file to start a specific daemon service. Whatever the services we have seen here, those are the daemon services. Why we are calling them as a daemon services? Because they will run in the background. They will run in the background. See, when it comes to the cluster, your name node, data node, secondary name node, or backup node, high availability, those are all physical machines, and these are all daemon services. These are all daemon services. Suppose I don't want to start all the services from the daemon, all daemon from the DFS. I want to start only name node. I want to start only name node. You can start, no problem at all. You have a specific file for that. The file is, go here, hadoop-daemon.sh space name node space start. You have to give a command such a way that, let's go ahead and do that, guys. First let me show you that whether my services are running or not. Based on that I will explain each and everything. Let's see, no, none of the services are running. So if you want to check is there any Java process services are running, the command is JPS, right? So all your Hadoop services are Java processing services, Java process services, who will use the use the JVM, right? To check the JPS, if you say JPS, if any Java process are running, including Eclipse, even your Eclipse is a Java process. If you are running a Tomcat, if you are running any other any other Java based application, applet, all are Java based services, so it will list out all the as soon as you say JPS, it will all list out the all Java processing services. So people may think that JPS is belong to Hadoop. No, JPS is a tool, or JPS is the command which will list out the all the Java processing services in your Linux environment. Okay, now so there is no services there is no services are running off as of now. So now I want to start only NameNode. Hadoop -daemon .sh NameNode start. What is this? Might it is showing that daemon. See here, actually I have given the reverse way. It is telling you to starting NameNode, and it is logs are going into this started the NameNode. Now look at, guys, JPS you do. Your NameNode is started. Your NameNode is started. You want to stop the NameNode using stop. So your Hadoop -daemon.s file is meant for start the NameNode service. Not only NameNode service, guys. That Hadoop -daemon.s file is meant for start any service. Do you want me to start data node service? Yes, I can go ahead and start it here.
Ravi,
Yeah.
can you do PWD? I want to see the path.
No, I have set the class path, so I can execute from anywhere.
So you should have gone to SBin as because
I no
this
need to
Hadoop
go.
daemon.
I no need to go. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, okay, okay. If you guys are raising this question, let me explain then from the uh, okay. I'll do one thing, guys. First, let me explain the configurations. Let me explain the installation part. So I think most of the guys are not gone through that. Let me explain that. And
Hi Ravi, this is your installation or Hadoop on install?
it's the uninstall mission. This is for Ambari setup. Yes, let me show you this. Okay, guys. So here I'm going to explain how to install Hadoop in your machines. Already there are set of videos, but still I'm going to explain each and every point here and what is the purpose of each and every point. Okay, please concentrate here. Okay, sorry, I have jumped from that topic to this topic because the people are raised a very basic question for the installation part. So that's why I joined it. So it will help for everyone. So thanks for asking this question, Dheeraj. So the first, you can to set up Hadoop environment where I am using Ubuntu machine, which is the latest version I'm using, and for this setup I'm using 2.6.4 version of file. So to we know that Hadoop is a Java based open source framework, so we need to have a Java in our machine, and we don't need a specific user. You can, if you want to create, you can create a specific user for it, and we need to create SSH shell, secure shell. So we need to create that. So I'll be explaining all these details in this part of this document. So very first thing, guys, as soon as you installed Ubuntu Linux, the first command what you need to execute sudo apt-get update. What is the sudo apt-get update will do? Your Ubuntu will have, in the Linux environment, will have something called source list. The source list file will contain the package name with respect to the package name is respect to website. So what will happen, as soon as you say sudo apt-get update, the packages will get updated. Look at here, I'm going to do that. Sudo apt-get update. So your machine should be connected to internet. As soon as you did this, it is asking, see here, all are getting updated, these packages are getting updated. So this, my machine is connected to internet and it started updating from the repositories, respective repositories. So all the packages will be available in the source list. Okay, now, so as soon as you did this, so the packages will be get updated. Now I'm going to install a Java version. So I recommend you to go with the Java 1.8 version, because we are also going to see the Hadoop Spark installations, right? We're also going to see the Spark installation. Installing Java, there are multiple ways. So not only this is the only one way, there are multiple ways. You can download the package, extract, set the class path. You can do manually, or you can do it from the sudo apt-get install itself. And here, this is the package name. As soon as I did this, it will start downloading the data from the respective website, OpenJDK, and it will start download it. And after downloading it, it will start install it. It will start install it. And once this installed, by default, it will go into this path. By default, it will go into this path, /user libjvm. This is the default installation of that. So what is the difference between installing like this and installing with the manually? If you install using sudo apt-get, you no need to set the class path. If you install using sudo apt-get, you no need to set the class path, because the sudo apt-get install itself will set the path, and you no need to explicitly set the path. So you can execute the command from anywhere, from any screen, from anywhere, from any screen. Let's say I have java-version. I can execute this command from anywhere. I no need to go to specific where the Java installed in the binary directory. I no need to go to the directory. If I use sudo apt-get install, or if you install manually, there are two things. If you install manually, so if you install manually, let's assume that you have installed in a specific location, user local location, in that Java you have installed. Let's assume that you have installed in this location. How your class path knows you have installed Java here? So what you need to do for that, you need to set the class path explicitly. You need to set the class path explicitly. How we are doing in the Windows for environment variable, same way here. So this class path, we will say .bashrc file. What is this .bashrc? So in a Linux environment, bash means this terminal. The bash means your terminal. Okay, bash rc means the runtime configurations. RC means your runtime configurations. While you are opening your terminal, what are the files, what are the configurations, what are the path I need to load, that information will keep it in a bash RC file. Where this bash RC file will be there? It will be there in your home directory. Your home directory means /home and your username. That is your home. Let's assume that if I have another user, let's say I have another user. So when I say your home, his home, that is /home Hadoop 2. Let's assume that, right? It will be there in your home directory. So you can say ls and see. So Ravi, where is the bash rc here? I'm not able to see bash rc here. So your .bash rc file is a hidden file. In Linux environment, any file or any folder start with the dot, that is treated as a hidden file. So to see that, you can use ll. You can use ll, and you see all the dot, whoever start with the dot. Now here you have something called .bash rc file. What is this .bash file? Whenever your terminal is up, whenever terminal is loading, whatever the configurations or whatever the paths you have set in the bash file, those will be loaded. Okay, if you set the path there, if you set the class path there, specifying I have installed, if you export the path there, will execute the command like export. You will set the home path. I'm not going to show you the home path here. I'm directly showing the path equal $path Why I need to give $path? Because you just installed Java. Before that, by default, there will be some softwares will come along with your Ubuntu, like your ls command, the cmd command, all this make directory command, all this will come, sir. Those are also some installed, right? Those all will be setted by default in this path. Those are all setted by this path. So you have to use that path and you need to append your whole $java home or whatever it is, java underscore home or your path. That is the reason in Windows, what we will do, we will not, in Windows we'll take the environment variable, we'll go to the path, we'll click on edit, we'll give semicolon, we'll add it. What does it mean? We're appending to existing path. You should append to existing path. If you didn't use this, if you directly says path equal to your Java path, nothing will work in your environment. Your terminal will not work. Your terminal will not work. So it will give you a problem. Please be careful while you are setting your path. So you should set path equal to $path append. Then you can set any number of things. You can set any number of paths. Okay, so if you set the path here, you no need to execute, you no need to execute executable files. What is executable files? .cmd, .sh files. Where those files will be there? Always those files will be in the bin directory. You no need to go to the specific directory to execute those files if you set the class path. If you didn't set the class path, every time you have to go to the bin directory or sbin directory, then only how to execute. So Dheeraj was asking the same question. So why didn't you use the sbin directory there? Because I already set the path. So I no need to say my terminal, I no need to explicitly tell to my terminal saying that you go to cd/usr hadoop /sbin. I no need to explicitly say that. I no need to say that. Okay, I can directly go ahead and execute from anywhere. That is the purpose of setting the class path. That's the point number one. So I have installed, I have taken the path, and I have set the bash rc file. I have set the environment file. Okay, now, so the Java version, if you see, it will show the Java version. Good, the Java installation is completed. Next, configuring SSH. What is SSH? This is very much important point, guys. You may come across the interview. So while doing a setup, we will be doing SSH keygen and we'll be sharing with others. What is the point of it? Why we need to do that? Why we need to create SSH and why we need to share with others? Very simple, guys. So your NameNode is one machine, a physical machine, secure shell. Why we need to set that? Your NameNode is one machine. Your NameNode is one machine. Your data nodes are other machines, other physical machines. Even though both are in the same machine, the hosts are different. Guys, I'm explaining the same. Okay, I'm explaining the same. Okay, so the data nodes are the another data node. Data node 1, data node 2, data node 3. So this machine wants to access this machine. So if anyone wants to access this machine, they should have a password to share, a handshake kind of thing. And if this machine wants to access this, they should have a authentication to access this. And if this machine wants to access this, you should have access to this. Authentication should be there. So what we will do, we will say SSH by default. Some machines will be having this software, some machines will not be having this software. So for that, what we need to do, we need to install SSH. So to install SSH, again sudo apt-get, again update. You need to take update. If you already taken, no need to take this again. You say install, then go to open ssh hyphen server hyphen server. So you need to press enter. As soon as you did this, all your SSH softwares will be installed. After installing your SSH software, you need to create passwordless access. How? So there is a command for creating a secured creating a key. I'll tell you what is the command. Let's look at here. SSH hyphen keygen key, I'm generating the key -t RSA hyphen capital P, it is capital P double quote, no space in this double quote also. Then press enter. As soon as you press enter, it will ask you to enter the file to store the ID underscore RSA file. You don't give any file name here, just press enter. By default, it will go to your home / your username. In my case, Hadoop1 / .ssh. It is also hidden file, hidden folder. In this, it will create ID underscore RSA dot public key, and one more file will be created, ID underscore RSA private key. These two files will be created under this location by default. Now this key we need to keep in authorized keys for authentication purpose. So how we will keep that? You can the content of this. So I'm copying, in the sense I need to copy the content of this. So this content of this is encrypted. So I need to move the content to the content of this RSA dot public key. It is a encrypted file, so I need to move that content to other file. How will I do that? I have to do such a way that cat /home /hadoop1 /.ssh /id underscore RSA dot public key pub greater than, and the same path again. You have to give same path /home /hadoop1 .ssh dot authorized keys. Authorized keys, guys, this spelling should be same. Authorized keys, RIZED underscore keys. Then you need to press enter. So as soon as I execute this command, what will happen? This greater than symbol, what it will do? It will fetch the content from here, content, and it will put into this. It will put into this file. So the greater than symbol purpose is that, and cat purpose is open this file, open the content and take the content and put into this. When you use cat along with this greater than shift, actually we'll call it shift, right? So we will put into this. After that, we need to change the permission for this file. We need to change the permission for this. So how will you change the permission? chmod. So chmod 650. So why 650? I have seen most of the places we should give the same 650. And when I was doing one setup in one of the very old company, at that time, what happened? It was not taking. I have given 777, it was not taking. I don't know why. What is the reason? Maybe that machine problem, I don't know. But I standardly am following 650 as my the access code. So what is the 650? If anyone asks, I'll explain now. So what is that? So then /home your Hadoop1 SSH dot authorized keys. Now you have created SSH key and you have kept in this authorized keys. So normally in the distributed mode, what we will do, as soon as you created this key, right, this key has to share with all the data nodes. All the data nodes in the real time, you have to share with all the data nodes. Even though if you are doing with the Hortonworks Ambari, you have to do the same. You have to paste one place the key, and when you press next, it will automatically copy into other data nodes. But here we are using a sudo mode. You no need to explicitly copy into any of the machine, because single machine only. So as soon as you keep in the authorized keys, it is fine. So it can able to access, right? So when you do this, now you are able to SSH to any machine of in the cluster. SSH, you can say local hoster. Why I'm taking local hoster? Because my machine itself is the name node, my machine itself is the data node, so my local host. Or if you can do that SSH, you can give some IP address of data node, whether it is logging into that machine without password. So when you do these commands, you should not ask the password. If it is asking the password, it means that you didn't properly set the password. You didn't set the password. Now coming to next explanation, we have done this configuration SSH, and we have installed this, and we have generated a key, and we have done this. Here some people may surprise. So you are giving tilde slash. Your tilde slash represent the home directory. Very simple, guys. If I say tilde slash, it is represent home directory. Look at here. I want to open some file. Okay, I want to open some file. So cat tilde slash. See, I can access any of the file from here. So let's say pom.txt. What is this? Let me see here, your home directory. Your tilde slash represent the home directory. Okay, the current directory, the home directory, it will be representing. Okay, so let's go back to this. So don't surprise by seeing somewhere tilde slash, someplace you seeing the $home. $home is also your home directory only. Okay, what is the 650? Why 3 digits? Actually 4 digits. We'll talk about that now. Why it is 4 digits? Guys, Unix follows, we'll be having a permissions, right? Not on Unix, everyone, we missions are the permissions. So the write permission is 4. We will represent the write permission with the 4 value. The read permission is, will represent with the 2. The execute permission is, will represent 1. Okay, so if anyone has 7, it means he has all the rights. If he has only 6, he has a read and write. If he has the 5, it means write and execute. Right, that is the one. So now when I say 650, what is it is? So the first digit represent for owner of the file. Second represent the group is belong to. The third digit represent others. So if you're giving 777, it means owner has all the rights, group also has all the rights, and others also has all the rights. Right? If you say 700, only owner has the rights, no one else has the rights. So this is the meaning of 3 digits in the Linux environment. Okay, so I hope everyone is able to follow, and let me quickly finish the setup thing, guys, because we have to discuss about each and every part of the directory. We need to discuss each and every part of the directory. Now this is done, exit from there, and you don't need to disable it. So it's a real-time environment, we can disable that. You don't need to do that now for the setup. Like here, Hadoop installation. For the Hadoop installation, you also no need to do this. Okay, this one you need to get the permissions, because by default you will not be having a right access to, you will not be having right access to local. Here I have local, right? See here, I'll go with some games. So here, when I say right click, I don't have access to create a directory. I don't have access to paste. I don't have access to create a directory. I don't have access to paste. So I need to get the permission for that. I need to get the permission for that. Thank you, Kishore. Thank you. Thanks for correcting me. Read is for write to, or maybe I may get confused. Thanks for updating me. Okay. So here when you look at here, the properties, put the permissions, only root has access, no one else. So same way with the line, local also will be initially will having only root access, no one will be having access. So to get the access, first we need to get the ownership, chown, and your username and your group. In my case, my username is Hadoop1 and group also Hadoop1 only. By default it will be the same. So I'm getting the permission, I'm changing this. So now I'm creating a Hadoop env directory. I'm creating Hadoop env directory because I'm going to keep all my softwares in Hadoop. So go to our website, download this 2.6.4, and we need, after download, extract it by using your tar command, and after that we need to configure these files. Your yarn site for your yarn services, core site where your NameNode is running for securities and all your core, and map site, Hdfs site, Hadoop env. These files you need to set. So this file has some configurations like this. This files has a configuration. Yarn has some configurations. So authentication, auth services, map reducer, shuffle class, and default where your NameNode is running, core site, that is, and this is MapReduce site. So the problem is the MapReduce site will not be exist by default, and there will be some file called mapreduce.xml.template. So copy that and paste it, copy paste it, and you'll start it, rename it as a map site.xml, and you start putting this configuration in it. So we will talk about all the configuration in the next session. So let me finish a little high level here. The configurations, Hdfs configurations. Here, these things you no need to create manually. You no need to create. Your Hadoop will take care of that. Your Hadoop, while it's executing, while your format, it will create these directories. Okay. And the properties, you need to copy these properties to your HDFS site.xml. These properties are nothing but the related to HDFS. What is my replication factor? What is my data direct name node directory? Where is my data node directory? What is my block size? If I want to specify my block size, whether I need to enable the some configurations or not, all these things which are related to HDFS, you can keep it here. And in Hadoop env, you just need to specify the Java home path, where the Java is installed, which Java I need to use. And you just need to do after that bash rc. You need to set the all these configurations in bash rc. So you need to tell to the bash rc, no? So there has asked me the question, why you are executing start or losses from outside. So if I set this path, I can execute my services from anywhere in the terminal, from any directory. Okay, so I have set my environments here, so that's the reason I'm able to do that. And the next one is name node format. When you're doing a fresh setup, you need to execute NameNode format. You need to execute NameNode format manually if it is your Apache Hadoop. If it's a Hortonworks on Cloudera, they'll be doing as part of their installation. So the manager, the Ambari or Cloudera manager, they'll be taking care of it. Okay, if you are doing manually with using this Apache software, you need to do this Hadoop NameNode format. Why should I do Hadoop NameNode format? Why? So this answer, I want you to find out answer, or I can explain the answer now itself, not a problem. So guys, we have specified your DFS directory, where is name node directory, data node directory, right? These directories has to be created. These directories has to be created. So how these directories will be created? It will format the location which you are specifying, user local Hadoop, right? It will format the directory, and it will recreate the name node directory, data node directory. And your name node directory, after creating, it will be having one current folder. Inside the current folder, it will be having one version file. What that version file will do? The version file will contain your cluster ID, your block pool ID. If you guys remember, I have shown in sometime the last class, some other classes. So in a node, in this current you will be having, because so many edits are there, it's loading. So it will be having version as a file. So that version file will be created with a cluster ID, block pool ID when you do a name node format. If you didn't do the name node format, it cannot create. If it is not able to create, your cluster will not up, because this guy will not be, your data node will not be knowing that what is his cluster. How we will identify what is his cluster? So cluster ID and block pool ID will be created automatically at the time of name node format. Okay. So that is the reason we need to do name node format. Name node format, it will format whatever the specified file, it will delete it. It will freshly create with the cluster ID, whatever the binaries are required for your Hadoop setup, it will be created with that information. The cluster information, block pool ID information, transaction ID information, all the information will be available in your that. Yeah. So then you can go ahead and start your name node services, or you can start your your DFS services or YARN services. Huh? So this is how we will do setup. And after setting up, if you want to see, if you want to trigger your name node, and you can say localhost 50070, it will list out your this information. Okay. If you want, you can stop. We can stop the start services. Okay. So if you want, you can if you want, you can get the services. If you want to stop, you can stop the services, right? So this is what that's the reason I was starting the services from here. start. I no need to type completely. If you just start first 2-3 letters and press tab, it will list out that what are the thing you can choose that. Start hyphen all dot sh. It will start all the services. Start all hyphen. It will start all the services. But as I was showing you daemon services, right? So let me start one more time the daemon service. So already I will execute it. I will use up arrow. So I no need to type everything again. I can use this. So now I want to start data node service. Start data node. Press enter. See here, starting data node. Okay, so now it means your bin directory contains a config sh daemons.sh daemons. If you want to start multiple daemons, if you want to start only one daemon, right? So these are the your binary files to start the services. My name node is started, data node started, my data node service is started. If you want to stop, you can go ahead and stop individually. So why this daemon is available? Anyway, I cannot do anything with the single service. I need to have all the services. Anyway, I cannot do with the name node service alone. I cannot do with the data node service alone. So what is the use? They have given this daemon.sh file. Very nice question, guys. So why? Because when I added a new machine, when I add a new machine to the cluster, when I add the new machine to the cluster, so what I will do, I will log into this machine, I'll install Hadoop software and everything I will do, then I'll manually log into this. I will start only daemon data node service. I should not execute here start all. I will execute only start your start hyphen daemon dot sh and start data node service and start job tracker or task tracker or node manager service, because I need to start only that service, right? So then only it will be part of your name node. Again, you need to do some configurations in this hdfs file. So that we will see as part of another class, how to add a new machine to the cluster, how to add a new machine to the cluster. That we will see as part of our other class. I hope everyone is clear. So the dfs.sh will start all the dfs services. Dfs name and hyphen df start hyphen d and services will start all the yarn services. Okay, let's move back this. Here you have a, so you can start your balancer. You can start your balancer. Okay, and uh, those are the very much important, those only you can start your yarn services, yarn daemon. How you have a Hadoop daemon, the same way yarn daemon. Okay, so these are the important configurations. These are the important files we need to know from here. And start all SSH is nothing but it will start all the services, your daemon data node services, as well as your DFS services, as well as MapReduce services. And the next one what we need to understand is the configuration file. So in the Hadoop one, if you see, the configuration file will be there in the Hadoop home or Hadoop home directory only. But when it comes to Hadoop 2, it will be there in etc Hadoop. Inside the etc and Hadoop, the files will be there. So you need to open those files. What is there in balancer? Mhm. Let's see here. You can open it. You can go through the shell code. What is there in this? See here, Hadoop daemon.sh configuration directory script. It is executing dfs dot start balancer. It is starting the balancer. Hdfs start, and it is starting the balancer. Okay, it is simply starting your balancer. Next important directory which we need to know is configuration directory. The configuration directory will be in a Hadoop one. It used to call as the conf. The directory name was, but when it comes to Hadoop 2, it is etc Hadoop, and these are the files. So we'll be more no, doing modifications of these files only. So here, before getting into this, I need to explain you something. Hadoop has two set of configuration files. Hadoop will have two set of configuration files. One set of configuration files are default configuration files. One set of configuration files are -default. So hyphen means XX will be there in before. X not X, some name will be there. I'll tell you what is that. Default.xml. Someone he was asking what is a balancer. Okay, so it is we already discussed before. We will discuss it later. Anyway, we are running out of time now. So let me finish this when we can have a special discussion about the balancer one more time, either tomorrow or after some time, because it's also an important question in the interview. Okay, so you'll be having a default XML files and you'll be having something called -site.xml file. What is this default XML file? What is this site XML file? Guys, these default XMLs are which comes along with your software, the default properties. The default properties will be there in this machine. So my block size is 3. How you're telling your block, sorry, your block size is 128 MB. Where it will be there? The default that is there in your Hdfs default.xml and core site.xml, core default XML and yarn default XML and map reduce map-red default .xml. So these XML files, we will not change anything in these XML files. These are just a reference. Suppose if you want to change any configuration which is specific to your cluster, let's say my cluster, I want the block size 32 MB. What do you need to do? You cannot go ahead and change here. You should not change it here. If you change even, it will not reflect. So what you need to do, they have given a site specific. Your site means your site specific, your cluster specific site.xml file. In this XML file, you go ahead and take the configuration from this and copy paste here and change it. Property value, close the property. Okay, and you have a core sites XML and you have yarn site XML. Your site specific, these are all your site specific configurations. Map red, they're all your site specific configurations, right? Those are not common so these if I open my configuration, my set of files here, this is I'm going to show you. So if I show my configurations are different than someone's configuration, my configurations are different than someone's configuration because this is my site specific. But when you go and open the default file, that will be common. The default will be common to across the world, whoever is using Hadoop. But site.xml will be changing. My project, my cluster specific this. Your cluster specific will be having something else. Look at guys here. My replication factor is 1. My maximum replication factor is by 512, but you can change it. And your minimum replication factor is 1. Only at least one copy has to successfully store. My NameNode directory is this. By default, this will be temp directory. We should not have by default temp directory. You should not have a temp directory. If it is a temp directory, your Linux daemon will be delete the temp directories in some interval. So I think 10 days or sometime. So automatically it will really delete all your data. So we need to change this. We need to change this. We should not have a default as a temp directory. This will be by default temp directories it will be. And your permissions. And here I'm changing my block size. I changed to my block size to 32 MB. This is 32 MB configuration bytes. And DFS hosts. We will talk about this later. So when you want to add a new machine, you have to change the configuration here. Not change the configuration, you have to give the path of the file which contains the IP addresses. And you want to remove some machine, you have to list out all the IP addresses, you have to give the path here. So like that, my configurations are different than your machine configurations when it is a site file. But when it comes to the default files, those are common files. Default files, those are common files. So that is the major the folders we need to discuss about thing. So tomorrow we will see in detail about each and every configuration, and tomorrow we will be discussing about the balancer, and tomorrow we will also discuss about the some commands. Yeah, guys, and small update for everyone. A small update for everyone. You guys are already seen today I came late because I was having some call at office. So I'll be changing our timings. So unexpectedly the timings are changed. So we will not be having class on Tuesday and Thursday, alternative days. Monday we'll have a class, and Wednesday we'll be having class, and Friday we'll be having class. Only weekly 3 days for time being, for few days only, guys, till no the my reporting manager or he's an on-site, so I should have a call with him in the evening time, so I need that time. Okay, few weeks, I think hardly 2-3 weeks later we can have a regular call, weekly 5 hours, only few days. Yep.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Ravi.
Any questions from you guys? Any questions? Any?
Ravi, whatever we have discussed today,
Mhm.
like uh, configuration and setup for the Hadoop and changing the directory and class path, these all are admin work or developers?
Admin work.
Okay.
But if you get into
Okay.
the small company, let's assume that they are doing a POC, they hired you as a Hadoop resource, and they may ask you to do a small setup. You should know basic
Okay.
configurations.
All right.
So this setting up is not only the job for administration. He will be doing so many things. The job fail, why job fail? Any new mission add, why, how to add? There are so many things that your admin will be doing that. He will be monitoring the jobs. Sometimes you will be executing
Okay.
some shell script. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other guy? Any other doubts?
Ravi,
Yeah,
Shravan here. Can you upload the document, this installation document?
Yeah, this installation document I'll upload. Actually, I try to upload in here. If you guys see here, I already,
In GitHub, is it?
yes, I already created Git also, a project, there's a repository. Yeah, setup docs. Somehow I was not able to upload here, but I'll upload sometime. Okay, all you can find all your
yeah.
setup docs here.
Hello.
Then for the
Yeah,
next 2 weeks, we have alternative days.
yes, 2-3 weeks. I'll tell till I let you know. I'll tell you.
Then tomorrow we don't have it.
Tomorrow we have a class.
Okay.
Friday will not be having. Sorry, Thursday will not be having.
Okay. All right.
Ravi, I have a small doubt. I don't know whether it is silly or not.
No
As
silly
you said,
nothing. So don't mind no asking very small also. No silly nothing.
Ravi, I have a small doubt. I don't know whether yeah. As you said,
Your voice is completely gone. Could you please repeat?
uh,
Please unmute and talk. I think. Please unmute.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you said, this is admin's part, no configuration and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What exactly is developer's part?
Sorry. Very good
Uh,
question. So
as this configurations are all.
yeah, developer part is where he's going to write a code to process a huge amount of the data. How to process the data? He might be writing our MapReduce code. He will be writing a map. If it is if it is a Spark, he'll be writing some Spark code. If it is a streaming, he'll be writing streaming code, and he'll be writing a code. If it is a Hive, he'll be writing Hive
Okay.
script.
Oh, it's
And
like related to business logics. Developer's part is to write business logics and to process data.
exactly. And he'll be, if it's the bugs are there
Okay.
in some application, he'll be fixing the bugs. He'll be fixing the supporting those things. Very good question. Anyone else?
Okay. And one more thing. Yeah, actually, till now, what I have worked on Hadoop is only Hdfs, like to upload files and all. So this is my first class actually. So may I know what are the major parts that I've missed in your previous classes?
So we have completed all architectural things like a secondary name node, backup node, what is our checkpoint node, high availability, federation. Those things we have discussed.
Okay, Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
So
can go
because
through
I've
them.
only worked on HDFS.
You can go through them. You
Yeah.
can go through those videos are available in the YouTube channel.
Actually, I visited your YouTube channel. There I found many Hadoop classes. So I was confused which is the
No,
9 p.m. to 10 p.m. class that you
that's
have
what. You
uploaded.
just click on the playlist. Okay, just click on the playlist. It will
Okay.
take you to this CCA 175. So this is the one.
Okay. So these are the videos that you're uploading for 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. batch.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other question?
Hi Ravi.
Yeah, hi.
It's out of Hadoop. Actually, I just want to know one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have any idea about like CI frameworks?
Continuous integration.
Yes, yes.
I have idea, but I never worked. But my friend was working on some time before. Like it's kind of auto building. So
I
you are
just
talking about Jenkins?
yes, yes. Yeah, Junkin, Travis.
Yes, I have a little knowledge about it. Yeah, you can if you have
Yeah,
some.
I just want
Uh, s-
yeah, I want to know like which is the best component to work with Hadoop for that CA.
you Jenkins will work. It's just a
Junkin?
building. It's just a build tool, right? So
Yeah, it's building.
so
Yes,
you
yes.
can do that. You can go with the Jenkins or you can go with the Hudson. You can go with anything.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one more is,
Mm-hmm.
as you showed us the NameNode format, no?
Mm-hmm.
So that is only required at the beginning, right?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
when is the time that we need to format it?
So at the time of the startup, very first
It's
step of
only at the
setup. Yes. So if you execute that
beginning.
command frequently, you will be losing your data, complete data. You'll be completely formatting all your data.
Data.
You should not do that.
It's all like whenever we execute a command, it's a fresh environment that we have
Yes.
set up.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
And sometimes
thank
some
you.
of the blogs or some of the places, if you face some issue, they will clearly note you that if you are okay to lose the data or if you don't have any data, go ahead and execute this NameNode format, which will solve most of the problems. Whatever the problems, your data node is not able to come up, your NameNode is not able to come up, your data node is not able to connect to NameNode. The cluster IDs are different, and some error you'll be getting.
Mm,
Um, I found replication factor is only one, but zero copy, some kind of error used to come. So that time also they'll ask you to do format. But be careful while doing a format. First to try all the possibilities, and still you are okay to if you lose the data, then you go for the format. Then otherwise don't do it.
Oh, okay. And few times what I have when I was working on HDFS, what I was facing is
Hmm.
we will get a live node count, no?
Hmm.
That is data node count.
Correct.
It was showing 0, even though the data node is it's when it is up also. So
Correct.
at that time, whenever I formatted, I used to get the data node back.
So that
So
time
what might be the reason for that?
you should not do the format that time. You should go to your that version. I was showing you cluster ID, right? So your the same cluster ID will be having your data node as well. Okay, go here. Go to data node, the current data node, and you will be having version. Let me open this version file and let me go back to the same. Sorry, what is this? Go to your HDFS, go to name node and go here. And your version ID here should be same. So here cluster ID and your data node cluster ID both should be same. So it might be the cause. If it is changed, you can do one thing. You can copy from your name node. You can paste into your data node. You can look at
Okay,
here.
so name node data ID should be same as that of
Yes,
the
yes,
data node.
yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, and sometimes the namespace ID as well. I think your data node will have with
Okay.
namespace ID. No, your data node will not have the namespace ID. Only block pool ID. So the common part is the block pool ID. This what you call cluster ID. There is a block pool ID here. Yeah, here block pool ID, cluster ID. Okay. Only the reason was your cluster ID was not matching with your data node. That is the reason your data node was not coming up. When you format, it will
Like
freshly create.
why does
The reasons, there are multiple reasons. I can say why version might be changed in NameNode, why version is not changed in this. So sometimes when you restart or sudden restarts may cause to change the your NameNode cluster ID changes. Um, I will I'll get back on this. Even I'm not getting a point as of now. I'll also let me check and I'll get back on this surely.
yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, I am not admin part, so I will not be having all this. Admin will be knowing more detail about all these things. But still, I am in this training field from quite a long time. So I'll be doing a setup in multiple machines in real time here as well. So I have little knowledge compared to the real time admin.
Uh,
And you
uh,
are working on only HDFS. You are doing. For which company you were working before, if you don't mind?
no, actually, I was working for my project. I mean, for my college project.
Oh, college project.
So
Okay.
we just thought of creating a we just thought of creating a cloud. So we had used HDFS for our backend.
Fine, understood. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys? It's already 10:30.
Yeah, Vira, I have a question.
Go ahead,
Last
Sunil.
question for you,
Hmm.
might be. Uh, so the default input split size is the default block size. If I have to change the default input size, then on which file, in which site file I will make change,
MapRed.
or I need to
MapRed site.
change in map place.
Yes. MapRed
So
site, or
for
you
that
can
particular,
MapRed site, or you can go to your driver class and you can change it in the mapper in map class. You can
okay.
set in the conf equal to set of conf dot set of your configuration. I mean the split configuration, comma the value, whatever the value you want to increase.
Okay.
Yeah, Ravi, when we are changing block, then block belong to HDFS.
Correct?
Then we should not be changed to HDFS site XML.
No, he's talking about input split. You are talking about the blocks. So both are different. He's talking about input split, which will process by single mapper. That is a map reduce. He asked a little advance here. Fine, not a problem. He might have come across that interview or somewhere. Input split.
Well, as per my knowledge, input split, and the only difference between input split and blockage, input split will read the last line.
It will not read the last line. No. Input split is a logical representation of your data. Block is a physical block. We will talk more detail about this. So please don't divert from here. And if you have this kind of
Okay.
questions for your entry purpose, you can personally ping me or you can personally post me. I'll explain the detail. Or the same thing, what are the questions you guys are raising? Myself, I raised in the training. I have explained on all the questions in the, you can see in the MapReduce videos. I have answered all these questions. So while explaining itself, I only raise the questions behalf of you guys and I have kept each and everything here. What is the input split? What is the block? How it will work? What is the custom? How to change? All those things I have explained here. So that's also another option where you can go ahead and look at.
Can you ping this link
No, you just go to
here?
my YouTube channel, just go to playlist on Hadoop MapReduce 2.
Okay.
Hi Veera,
Hey, hi Gopi
I
Krishna.
have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in real time will install Cloudera only or I will install in separately like Ubuntu on?
It's a totally depends on your architect and it totally depends on their use cases. And if your architect is
Okay,
good friend of the Cloudera, he's good favor of the Cloudera, he'll go with the Cloudera. If he has a good favor of his favorite is the Hortonworks, he'll go with the Hortonworks. So not only that, to some of the use cases, whether you want to go with Cloudera, Hortonworks, or Azure, or AWS, or Mapper, or Greenplum, it can be decided based on their use cases. It can be decided based on their payment. And your Cloudera
okay,
has the enterprise version, your Hadoop also has the enterprise version, AWS has the enterprise version. So based on that as well.
okay. They will support anything for us like, for cluster Cloudera will support any backend support like that. Be there?
Yeah, they have the supporting also, supporting service also there. The Hortonworks has the supporting service, Cloudera has a supporting service, even EMR, they also has a cloud supporting service, but you need to pay extra.
Okay, thanks Veera.
Anything else, guys? Anyone else? Okay, it seems that everyone is clear. Gopi, Gautami, Ganesh, Ramesh, what are the names? Anusha, Anil. If you guys have any doubt, please. Else we can leave for the day. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Have a great time.
Thanks, Ravi.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, Akash. Samif, I think he switched on his video. Okay. Bye guys.